Oke, seperti yang Bapak Ibu lihat ada di screen, itu judul hari ini. Jadi, How to Contextualize in Learning English. Sudah kita bahas di awal, saya sudah membahas sedikit nih dengan Miss Agnes bagaimana untuk mengkontekskan in learning English. The next step, I have the question. Kita ke slide selanjutnya. So, this is the question that do you think or why do we need to contextualize? Ini seperti yang saya tanyakan tadi nih ke Miss Agnes. Miss Agnes, do we need to contextualize in learning English? Apakah perlu nih Miss Agnes? Kalau kita itu harus mengcontextualize in learning English. Is it needed in learning
It's
English?
definitely, it's definitely needed. Of course, it's truly needed
Mhm.
in any kinds of conditions. Oke, misalnya nih kita ya, let's say Bapak Ibu guru di sini, you are teaching to Indonesian students, all part of Indonesia. Okay, sometimes when we learn English ya, and for example we took a story, misalnya kita ambil dari sebuah cerita, ceritanya apa yang sederhana ya, kayak Cinderella atau Snow White. Nah, in that story, we know that it's actually the setting is not in Indonesia. It's somewhere in Europe, in France maybe, or yeah, let's say in Europe. You know, from that geographical locations, it's different within Indonesia. Jadi, in
Mhm.
this case, it's one of the example how maybe we can try to contextualize how to make that story maybe will be relevant to Indonesian culture. That's one of the example.
Oh, I see. So that's why the question is also answered that we also need to context in learning English. It
Mhm.
means like what is your purpose means what is our purpose in learning English? We need to know exactly. So
Exactly.
jadi kayak kita harus tahu jalannya gitu ya, Miss Agnes. Tahu alurnya nih. Kita mau kemana nih? Belajar Inggris untuk apa? Jadi lebih ke seperti
Yes,
itu kah?
I think so.
Oke.
Okay,
Mhm.
simple, yeah. Simply,
Oh,
for example, a
ya,
student comes to me and then just ask me, Miss, do you have any time?
ya,
Okay, do you want? Okay, for example, I want to learn English further. Nah, biasanya
ya.
kan kita akan ada pertanyaan kan, Miss Rida, why do
Betul.
you want to learn English? What's the needs?
Mhm,
Okay, I want to prepare for my scholarship. Means that I need to learn about IELTS. Nah, sebelum sampai ke IELTS tuh, kita akan tanya dulu, "Uh, have you learned English for general before?
mhm,
How
mhm.
long you've been learning English?" If they just say, okay, mungkin kita akan tes dulu ya. We will do like a
Betul.
placement test or something. And then when we see like, oh my God, the English is actually still in the A1 or A2 level, elementary or basic beginner.
Mhm,
I think that's okay. How if we learn first from the general English and then later we can go with the IELTS. Jadi kan orang akan belajar, they will learn, of course, with the purpose. Nah,
mhm.
pasti akan ada sebuah tujuan.
Betul.
Even misal cuman random ya. Um, for example, one of my students, he always have a class with me. He just mentioned, why do you always want to learn? Because actually, I believe that this is very important for my career.
Ya,
Simple as that.
betul. Dan mungkin kebanyakan juga tidak hanya untuk karir nih, Miss Agnes.
Mhm.
Terkadang kalau sudah berkeluarga nih ya, sudah punya anak. Simple as that. Punya anak terus akhirnya ingin memberikan anak bahasa Inggris lebih baik.
Mhm.
Itu juga bisa kan ya, Miss Agnes? Terlihatnya mungkin it is so simple, but sometimes they also need to share the science to the kids. Like what we see that English is also needed lately. Bahasa Inggris sudah
Yes.
dibutuhkan nih di mana-mana. Jadi betul nih, I couldn't agree with you that we need to know the purpose. Jadi biar tidak bingung, biasanya ada pertanyaan nih, kalau mau belajar bahasa Inggris harus mengkontekskan, lalu apa nih yang harus fokus duluan nih? Apakah grammar dulu? Apakah speaking dulu? Nah, karena belum tahu nih apa purpose-nya, apa goal-nya. That's why it is also needed to contextualize in learning English. Isn't it like that, Miss
Mhm.
Agnes?
Yes. I think so.
Interesting, sangat menarik sekali, bukan begitu, Bapak Ibu? Mungkin boleh saya invite satu orang, mungkin Miss Agnes, untuk responsing. So, in response, what is on their point of view? Kira-kira menurut Bapak Ibu tentang pertanyaan ini? In contextualizing in learning English. Apakah perlu juga atau Bapak Ibu bisa punya point of view? Oh, sepertinya tidak. Atau mungkin setuju, atau mungkin punya different point of view. Bapak Ibu boleh raise your hand so we can try to invite you. Boleh dicoba, let me see. So I'm gonna choose one of the member here. Oke, sepertinya ada yang ngetik hadir nih. Bolehkah saya memilih Mister? Bentar, oke banyak nih. There are so many, Miss Agnes. Let me choose only one ya. Saya ketemu
Please.
Oke, di sini ada Frederia Dangka Hamundiawa. Oke, boleh dibantu untuk di spotlight? So I'm gonna ask related to this point of view. Hi, Mrs. Frederia. Hai, Bu. Can you respond us? Do you get trouble? Mohon maaf, apakah ada problem atau masalah, Ibu Frederia Danga? I think she got trouble. What do you think, Miss Agnes? Should I find another person?
Or someone who has already turned on the raise hand button, maybe?
All right, all right. I see here it's Firdausia, Mrs. Firdausia. Okay. Hai, Bu. Would you unmute your microphone? Boleh di-unmute mungkin mikrofonnya Ibu Firdausia? Okay. Still get another problem? Let's find one last more. So if the
Okay.
last one will get the trouble still, so we can go to the next slide. Okay. Miss Agnes, would you kindly help? Which one that we find ada di situ Mrs. Enda, ilmuku, ada banyak nih Miss Agnes. Mungkin oke.
Halo,
Hai.
Oh, okay.
sorry, jangan coba.
It's okay. Hai Ibu, bolehkah
Oke.
diberikan responnya in this question? Menurut Ibu, apakah Ibu setuju dengan penyampaian saya dengan Miss Agnes related to this question? Do we need to contextualize in learning English?
Yes, I agree with this contextualized in English learning.
Mhm.
But I want to know, maksudnya saya ingin tahu seberapa butuhnya kita dalam memahami kontekstual ini sehingga uh, kita bisa mengaplikasikannya ke misalnya saya sebagai teacher, I'm a teacher, English teacher, how to apply to my student.
So this is a question from you. Berarti Ibu mau bertanya? That's the
Bagaimana
question.
nanti saya akan bisa mengaplikasikannya ke murid-murid.
Oke, baik. Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya, Mrs. Firdausi ya. Oke, thank you so much. I do really appreciate for you to give the question. But let us, biarkan kami menjawabnya nanti after the slide. Could we, Mrs. Firdausi ya? Thank you so much for the question. Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya. Let me lock the question. Biarkan saya simpan sementara dulu nih pertanyaannya. Bagaimana nih kita apply it? Tadi begitu ya, Bu. Cara mengaplikasinya bagaimana nih ke murid. Nah, nanti akan ada the next slide yang it will be related to your question. Itu akan nyambung dengan pertanyaannya Ibu. Jadi, please kindly wait. Boleh Ibu tunggu sebentar. So let's continue to the next slide. Kita ke slide selanjutnya. Thank you so much, Mrs. Firdausia. We would respond after we continue to the next slide. Begitu, Ibu Firdausia. Thank you so much. So, let's go to the next slide. Berarti kita langsung ke next slide aja nih, Miss Agnes. Karena sudah ada
Oh.
yang tidak sabar nih bertanya, sudah menyiapkan pertanyaannya tentang bagaimana nih caranya. Nah, sebenarnya caranya itu kami ada memberikan beberapa cara nih, Bapak Ibu, mohon maaf. Akan ada beberapa. Kita nanti spoiler lagi. Jadi kita discuss with this slide first. Kita slide ini dulu. Jadi ada 3 poin di situ. Ada the first one, so we're gonna discuss the first thing. This is contextualizing language. Tries to give real communicative value to the language that learners meet. Apa nih maksudnya nih? To give real communicative value. What does it mean? Nah, Miss Agnes will try to explain it further and I will give another information after that. So, now it's your turn, Miss Agnes, in responding that. What does that mean? Apa nih, Miss Agnes? Lebih kemana nih? In giving real communicative value. Karena di situ saya take the point in a bold writing, tulisan yang tebal, warnanya hitam. I think that's the point from this first point, isn't it?
Hmm.
Dia lebih kemana nih, Miss Agnes, number one?
Oke, thank you Miss Rida. Oke, so sebelum kita menjawab lebih jauh ya Bapak Ibu tentang bagaimana sih implementasinya terhadap contextualizing nanti seperti apa ya di dalam kegiatan belajar mengajar, kita harus tahu dulu nih konteks secara kontekstual itu kayak apa sih? So number one, yes, we have contextualizing. In this case, tries to give real communicative value to the language that learners meet. Okay, in this case, they learn English, right?
Mhm.
Nah, okay, real communicative value, of course, misalnya nih, for example, we teach our students about the speaking, and then we will learn have several of the materials. We will learn about how to give opinion, how we'll have, okay, let's say there are several of the phrases or expressions. Nah, sometimes we have to take a look. We have to help them to know when and where that kind of expression will be relevant. Misalnya nih Miss Rida, kalau kita misalnya lihat film, bukan film ya, a series di Netflix misalnya The Crown, itu
Mhm.
kan bahasa kerajaan ya, in the
Yes.
nobility ya. Kira-kira kalau itu kita pakai nih, misalnya saya tanya ke Miss Rida, Your Grace, what can I do for your favor? Atau mungkin bahasanya yang lebih nggak lebih di atas formal ya. Kalau bahasa Jawa itu bahasa kromo inggil. Jadi
Romo
benar-benar
Inggil.
bahasa yang sangat halus sekali. Will it be relevant for the daily conversations, for the commoners?
Of course not. It's too difficult, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Yes. So it's in this case is how we can give the idea to, let's say, the students, or let's say we as the another English learners in general, we can try to contextualize it on that. Jadi kita harus tahu nih, oke, aku bisa pakai ini. Kalau bahasa-bahasa yang di dalam novel atau misal teman-teman nonton um, series-series tertentu gitu. Belum tentu itu bisa kita pakai di dalam bahasa sehari-hari gitu.
Betul. Jadi pentingnya seperti related to the question on the previous slide,
Mhm,
menyambung
mhm,
nih dengan pertanyaan tadi. Penting nggak sih? Ternyata sangat penting. Kenapa? Karena kalau tidak related, ya will get difficulties. Seperti contohnya Miss Agnes. Ya nggak usah bahasa Jawa deh, Bapak Ibu. Jadi kalau kita lagi in a formal meeting, ternyata pakainya bahasanya bahasa yang informal. It means it's
mhm.
also not in a good things, right? Tidak connected. So that's why it's also in needed for us to contextualizing language. So it's also interesting, sangat menarik sekali nih. The first one that we need to give real communicative. Jadi masih nyambung gitu ya, Miss Agnes. Jadi kalau daily conversation, ya of course we also need to use the language or the statement, the words related to the daily conversation. Sangat tidak nyambung sekali saat muridnya lagi ingin belajar daily conversation diberikan bahasa kerajaan. Of course, this would be so difficult for the students. Interesting. That's very, I think it's also opened my mindset as well. That's why we also need to have in contextualizing and learning English. I think we need to go to the next one. We have the second one. Di situ ada nomor dua nih, Miss Agnes. Contextualizing is the process. Oke. Ini sambil saya pahami ya Bapak Ibu.
Mhm,
Jadi contextualizing itu adalah ternyata is a process of exploring content across different contexts and seeing how it is relevant. Ternyata masih nyambung nih dengan poin yang pertama nih. Content across berarti ini adalah suatu proses nih of exploring content across different contexts. What does it mean, Miss Agnes? Content
Okay.
across different contents. I take only the point ya yang sudah
Mhm.
ditebalkan. So I know that this is the point that we need to underline. Ingin kita perjelas lagi nih poinnya. What is on your point of view, Miss Agnes?
Okay. Um, well, there is one thing that I believe when we learn about language. Learning language means we're not only learning about the language itself, but we also learn about the culture. Do you
Mhm.
believe in it?
I do.
Okay. So actually, when we learn about language, language is actually multidiscipline.
Mhm.
Multidisiplin di sini misalnya, jadi ketika kita belajar bahasa, bahasa itu tuh sebenarnya nggak cuman kita belajar bahasanya itu aja, grammarnya, strukturnya, tapi kan how the language itself can we use in many discipline, di berapa jenis ilmu.
Ya, betul.
Oke, mungkin kalau saya bisa share sedikit pengalaman saya dulu ketika masih ngajar di sekolah gitu ya. Ada hal yang satu menarik. Jadi em, terkadang kalau di sekolah kita mungkin masih emphasizing or kita masih mengedepankan lebih ke bagaimana penggunaan bahasa Inggris secara grammar. It's more about the usage of English. Kadang kan terkadang seperti itu ya.
Ya,
Tapi kan lebih menarik mungkin ketika kita coba mengajar atau belajar bahasa Inggris in content base. Jadi content base itu, jadi misalnya nih, kita belajar materi bahasa Inggris, the context is about healthy lifestyle gitu misalnya.
oke,
Nah,
related nih dengan hobinya Miss Agnes nih.
oke, the lifestyle. Nah,
Ya,
mungkin nanti while we learning the language, the English itself, we will also learn about how to have a healthy lifestyle. We can learn about the nutrition. We
ya,
will learn about sports. Dan mungkin menariknya Bapak Ibu, kalau misalnya mungkin memungkinkan tuh, kita bisa kasih tugas tuh buat para murid-murid itu secara kolaborasi, kelas kolaborasi. Jadi bahasa Inggris dipakai untuk para murid kolaborasi dengan guru olahraga no, di sini. Jadi itu bisa
betul.
kontekstual sekali. Jadi biar murid-murid itu tuh bisa tahu, oh oke, ternyata actually I need to learn English so I can get more information. I would like to have more references. Terkadang kan
Ya,
kalau kita cari ya, when we want to find information in the internet, the in Indonesians, I would say it's more limited on the legal or let's say more credible references. Ya nggak? Kalau
betul
kita mencari
sekali.
informasi, I would like to say it's more okay, it's wider, it's a more having more variations when we search in English. Jadi seenggaknya di situ murid mulai berpikir tuh, iya ya, aku harus belajar Inggris ya. Nggak harus sampai kita berpikir harus ngobrol sama bule ya. As simple we search informations,
Ya,
they will find easily. Jadi,
exactly. Itu sudah based on my experience also nih, Miss Agnes. Kembali
mm-mm,
lagi, pengalaman lagi nih. When we search with the Indonesian language, informasinya betul sekali. Itu limit. Mungkin referensinya kurang sebanyak saat kita search in English, especially. And
mhm,
exactly, it helps a lot when we understand English better. At least we know the basic of English, isn't it? Setidaknya tahu
yes.
basicnya dulu. Tidak perlu harus master in learning English. You don't have to be mastered, but at least you know the basic. Kalau basicnya saja sudah dikuasai, nanti in finding more researches, it will be easier, I think. Akan lebih mudah begitu, Miss Agnes ya. Jadi
Mhm,
at least to have the basic. So that's this the second point that we are discussing. Jadi poinnya yang itu adalah lebih dapatkan insight in English than we are only learning in Indonesian. Something like that, Miss Agnes.
mhm. Yeah, yes, I would say.
Alright, interesting. Sangat menarik bukan Bapak Ibu? Ini masih poin yang kedua, masih ada yang ketiga dan juga the way, nanti way-nya atau cara-caranya, bagaimananya itu there will be on the next slide. Jadi akan ada next slide-nya nih Bapak Ibu. Please prepare your question. Bapak Ibu mulai dari sekarang boleh nih sambil prepare the question, pertanyaannya sambil ditulis dulu biar tidak lupa. Jadi nanti saat we give you the time Q&A, you are ready to raise your hand and we will choose you. So, prepare yourself. The next one, we have number three. Di situ ada nomor tiga nih. Bapak Ibu, kita mulai dengan contextualizing learning. In this way, allows a more transition, seamless transition from higher education to the world of work. Wow, I think it can be it's wider than, isn't it, Miss Agnes? Seamless
Mhm.
transition. What is it about?
Okay. Seamless transitions from higher educations to the world of work.
Mhm.
Hmm, kalau mungkin Bapak Ibu atau teman-teman semuanya yang habis lulus kuliah, mungkin ya, terus tiba-tiba harus kerja, and then turns out that the requirements for the job vacancy is
Yes,
fluent in English.
betul,
TOEFL should be minimum 500 atau biasanya minimal
betul.
450.
Mhm.
Even daftar PNS kan harus segitu kan ya?
Betul, itu minimal sekali tuh Miss Agnes.
Nah, terkadang, sometimes in our higher education or when we are in the university, we didn't pay attention to also to learn or to improve our English at the other hand.
Mhm.
So sometimes when many people, let's say in this case a fresh graduate, when they want to embark their career to the working or in the workplace, they was just like having culture shocks, and then they just okay start to learn English. Bukan mengatakan
Exactly.
bukan mengatakan telat sih ya, tapi
Yeah.
if you can, anticipate that things, and we can also learn English while maybe we are having in pursuing our bachelor degree or let's say in higher educations, that's somehow better because as we know that learning English is not just like you you can eat and then you can be full, no,
Mhm.
it's like lifetime process, so it's like taking several times for the process of learning. Jadi nggak bisa kita ngeget, bisa nggak nanti aku 3 bulan terus
Betul.
tahu-tahu TOEFL-ku 600. Padahal dia ngomong Inggris aja masih my name is. Kita gurunya yang malah bisa garansi nggak? Eh, itu kayak iklan pil pelangsing gitu ya, yang bisa menurunkan 20 kilo dalam sebulan. Bisa sih, tapi habis itu Bapak Ibu mungkin masuk rumah sakit tipes.
Betul. Mungkin tidak hanya
Jadi
tipes, bisa lebih parah, Miss Agnes. Betul nih, saya sangat setuju nih. Jadi kalau belajar bahasa Inggris itu benar butuh proses yang tidak bisa ditarget karena masing-masing dari ya, when we were learning English, we all different. Kita semuanya beda, nggak bisa nih kita samaratakan bahwa orang ini belajar bahasa Inggris saja hanya 3 bulan. Let's say like that. But we cannot make it the same as we could be like them. Ya bisa, tapi effortnya akan lebih. Bukan begitu, Miss
Mhm.
Agnes? Akan lebih
Yes.
harus ya berdarah-darah lagi. Bisa mungkin ditargetkan setahun bisa master, you could. But ya sanggup tidak dengan prosesnya. So if you know yourself, jadi Bapak Ibu bisa melihat nih, mampu tidak kalau prosesnya itu karena kan we know that everyone is busy, so you have your own activities. Of course, you cannot do intensive learning English. That's why we need to be patient in learning English. Dibutuhkan kesabaran nih untuk bahasa Inggris. Terkadang nih Miss Agnes, based on my experience, pesan hari ini saya banyak mention based on my experience nih. Based on my experience, kebanyakan member atau murid yang datang ke saya ini selalu begitu, Miss Agnes. Miss, saya itu mau ambil let's say scholarship in this campus atau in this university. Ujiannya next ini harus ambil IELTS nih. Bisa kan, Miss? Itu udah kayak pressure nih for the teacher, for the tutor. Because like what Miss Agnes said, itu saya sangat setuju sekali bahwa proses in doing the process, you also need to contextualize. Benar-benar harus perlu goalnya seperti apa. Kalau benar TOEFL, yeah, of course you need to be patient in facing that. You need to be ready, isn't it? Jadi harus siap juga in have facing the process karena kalau memang ditarget ya it's okay for you to get the target but at least you also get the effort. Jadi harus siap dengan usahanya. That's the point for having the seamless transition. Jadi, oke, seperti yang Miss Agnes sampaikan tadi, bukan terlambat ya, Miss Agnes, tapi better late than never, isn't it?
Mm.
Mending telat daripada tidak sama sekali kalau saya ya, Miss Agnes.
I do
So,
agree.
ya betul terlambat, tapi at least oke, related to the first topic that we open dari opening tadi nih Miss Agnes, bahwa finding a partner, menemukan partner itu is not that easy, especially in our country, khususnya di negara kami tercinta nih, Indonesia. Itu sangat ya, meskipun this era is digital era and everything is so easy, tapi terkadang for us in learning is not that enough. For just only learning through the applications. Melalui aplikasi saja kadang kita kayaknya kurang deh, harus partner. Do you have any other point of view atau any other ways kalau kita kesulitan nih Miss Agnes to start our English or our learning, to contextualizing learning English? How could we start if we cannot find the partner?
Okay. So I know it's actually also one of the problem that's most of the people, and let's say in the context is my students that I already mentions ya. Kadang memang iya, kadang merasa, Miss, tapi aku ngerasa nggak ada partner,
Mhm,
nggak ada yang bisa apa yang bisa diajak ngobrol gitu ya. Maybe you can try to find a community,
mhm.
or maybe if you cannot hire for private class, mungkin kan ada yang ngeluh, aduh Miss, tapi saya nggak bisa ini apa namanya ikut kelas private atau apa kekendala biaya mungkin. Ya, we cannot avoid the fact that maybe you can try to find for a community. Ya, gimana caranya? You have to find person. If you want to truly practice for the English in this case, find a partner. Is it possible if I just speak alone? Yeah, it's okay. You can try to speak alone, but the thing is, how could we know that what we say,
Mhm.
what as the progress of our speaking can be understood by the other people? Namanya kita belajar bahasa, we learn about language. The function is actually for communications. It's not only
Yes,
like you're speaking to yourself. Kalau itu bahasa kalbu aja bisa gitu ya. So in this case, maybe yeah, it's as the simple things you can, having your friends that will have the same goal with you. You wanna try to learn together, ya nggak apa-apa, belajar masih sama-sama, masih apa ya, mulai awal dulu, it's okay, mulai
ya,
aja dulu gitu ya. As the
betul.
time goes by, you will learn several other things. You will also try to learn from the several of the insights. Mungkin kita bisa belajar dari banyak resources ya, Miss Rida ya.
Betul.
Dan nanti sambil menemukan kelas yang bisa untuk bareng-bareng, you can try to find a community or let's say a class that will help you to improve for your
Betul.
English.
Betul sekali. Karena terkadang kalau kita memilih kelas private itu kan little bit pricey ya, Miss Agnes.
Mm,
Dan
I know.
we need to consider the price as well. Mungkin betul finding the club, English club, something like that. Karena kalau ada English club itu pasti akan membuat kita curious nih. Wih, yang lain sudah aktif nih. Berarti aku harus lebih aktif. Biasanya ada motivation like that ya, Miss Agnes, in finding the club. Tapi in finding the club, untuk menemukan klub ini pun juga terkadang kesulitan nih Miss Agnes. Untuk join the club itu kadang susah. Nah, mungkin Bapak Ibu bisa find the English course. Bisa juga join English course. Kursus belajar bahasa Inggris. Tidak private, because it's private is a little bit pricey, but you could join the group class. Mungkin bisa ikut di group class yang banyak orang. Nah, dari situ we can also get or we can also broaden our skill better. Mungkin it can be also that the way. All right. I like that discussion. So we have the 3 points there that we have already discussed. Now it's the time for me to read the way. Nah, ini baru kita masuk ke cara-caranya nih Bapak Ibu. Jadi kami sudah menyiapkan ada beberapa cara in the next slide, di slide selanjutnya. Jadi ada bagaimana nih caranya untuk kita memulai to contextualizing learning English. Caranya ada sudah kami rangkum. Itu ada boleh ke next slide.